Hello, welcome to Burning Questions, March 15, a big show lined up. No Andy Gath today, but we've got two of the best looking heads in harness racing. I can throw mine in there as well, I reckon. But we'll start with the man. He's held us up a little bit, and his name's James Herbertson, but it was for an important cause, Herbie. You had to go and get clearance after that fall last night at Geelong. Give us the latest. Hopefully you've got the green light to drive Harley Blue tonight at Shepparton.
Yeah, no, we've got the green light. We're all good to go. Just went to the doctor this morning and had a bit of a poke and a prod. And, it seems to be no breaks, just a bit of ligament damage. So, all in all, just a sprained ankle. So, come out of it very, very lightly. Could have been much worse, just landing awkwardly. It all sort of happened in slow motion as you watch the replay. But, just normally land pretty well, but not last night. So, no, we're all good. We'll push on.
Good stuff.
The tree landed on your wallet?
I would have rather land on my wallet.
Good start. Well, that's a good way to introduce the Mayor of Ararat, and he's a good Essendon man. We've got a big game tomorrow, and his name is Michael Bellman. I reckon I've tried you about 9 times, Mick, but I've finally got you. So welcome to Burning Questions, and hopefully it's a memorable debut for you.
Thanks, mate. Good to be on.
Good stuff. Let's get stuck right into it. No Andy Gath. So it's just the three of us, and we're going to look at Melton on Saturday night and Charlton on Sunday. The first of our sponsors, Pride's Easy Feed, stand as a proud supporter of the harness racing industry with their set recipes and quality ingredients to give the trainer confidence in what they're feeding. So make the switch to Pride's and start getting the result you've been chasing. The first question, do we back the Storm first up from a break, or is the City Plate more than a one-act affair? No one's driving in this race on Saturday night. It is race 6 on the card. I'm talking about the Lost Storm, of course. He's drawn barrier 6. He's a very, very nice horse, but this is a good field. I might start with you, Herbie. What do you think? I've got my reservations about him. I haven't seen a market. I assume he'll come up pretty short, but, he's had a little setback, didn't go to Tasmania. I saw one of his trials. I thought it was okay, but nothing more than that. What are you thinking? Is he vulnerable first up?
Oh, look, I think you can generally trust Emma Clayton's horses first up. It's probably when they're near their best. They're quite prolific for that. So I don't think being first up is going to be too much of a worry. You got still a very nice field there, but he really should be able to buzz off the gate and find the top. And, whether he cops a bit of mid-race pressure or not, I think he'll still be quite strong through the line. So, his form from, last time in is good enough for this sort of race, and he's a classy horse. So I think that's going to take him a long way. But, you've still got quite a nice batch of horses there, a bit of a mixed bag on the same token. Horses coming through and horses already sort of working their way towards the top and sort of still going through their classes. So, it's a nice little race, but I'd say he's definitely the one to beat.
Yeah, okay. Mick, was this the race you knocked off Ride High in or not?
No, that was a smoking up sprint. But
that was a smoking up.
Hopefully I can knock it off this week with Rosanna Rebel.
Sorry, you are driving. I made a mistake there. Of course, you are driving Rosanna Rebel. The first up run did a lot of work and still boxed on pretty gamely, I thought. What's your thoughts? The Lost Storm probably deserves favouritism, but it's there's many chances, including yours.
Yeah, ideal scenario. I'd like to cross to the pegs and let it go and have last crack at it. But, James drove him last week and didn't have a lot of luck on him. And he should be stripping a bit fitter for the run too. But, there's a couple off the second line that you got to be holding in high speed too. The Perfect Class and Rakiro Rebel. Even Ella Pembroke's been going really well. So it's an open race.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the other Rebel, you're obviously driving Rosanna Rebel for Terry Howard, but I thought Rakiro Rebel would be very hard to beat. A good last start winner. Chased home Leap to Fame before that. So, good form lines and probably land that way. Just maybe take on the Lost Storm, expecting he'll be at the short quote. Combining the power of results and horse sectionals with Sulky app, you now have access to gate speed, swooper, ability, and behaviour ratings. Never miss a trainer, driver, or gear change again. Sulky app is a form guide revolution. Herbie, I hope you didn't rip those nice Sulky app pants last night.
No, I didn't. No, I thought I might have, just landing a little bit awkwardly on them. But, they're all good. They're good to go again.
Good stuff. The second question, which of the 100-plus raiders will sizzle in the Stampede, or might the wide draws bring them unstuck? It's race 7 on the card on Saturday night. I'm right in saying this time Herbie and Mick don't have drives. But, Mick, I might go to you. What are your thoughts? Triple Eight's 120 raider. He's drawn right out wide, and he's taking on, a horse like Roryville drawn down on the inside as a 67 raider. So wide barrier over 1,200 metres, not usually conducive to victories. But when you've got such a discrepancy, they're going to be hard to hold out, these wide runners, aren't they?
Yeah, it probably changes the way they drive them a little bit in these stupid races. I don't like the 1200s. I'll be first to put my hand up and admit that. But it does bring them into calculation a bit where they can probably afford to do a little bit more work against the lower grade ones. But in saying that, like Roryville crossed from 7 at Menangle, I know his results weren't that great, but it's not easy to go up there and do that. So even a horse like him, if he doesn't have to work as hard early, I'll still give him a chance as a roughie.
Herbie, what are your thoughts? I thought the winner had probably come from 8, 9 or 10, La Captain, Tango Tara or Triple Eight. I might even take on Tango Tara first up. La Captain's got a lot of speed too. So how do you see the Stampede? And are you a fan of the 1200s more than Mick or not?
Probably slightly a little bit more. I've had a little bit of success in them. So before I won one, I was not a fan of them. But yeah, look, it's amazing how you can get such a class difference from your lowest graded horse that's in the field to 67 raider racing against 120 raider. So that is quite amazing. But yeah, look, I think Triple Eight's it's probably not a race for him, just with how he's drawn and how it's going to be run. He's going to be settling back last, and La Captain, his form in the 1200 metre races is as good as any, and you got Julie B. Jack Sparrow there as well, who really loves the 1200. And even a little horse like Better Day, he's quite quick, and if he lobs just near them, he's got a really fast quarter, and he's sort of going through his class and doing a good job. So, but yeah, I'd say it's probably between La Captain and Julie B. Jack Sparrow himself.
Yeah, okay. I was going to maybe lean the way of Triple Eight. I know it's absolutely not his go, this sort of race, but I just thought, Greg had just put him straight into the race, and I don't know, a bit like Catch a Wave the other time when he won that 1,200 metre race, what it was called, the Mercury 80. I just thought, drive him up the best horse and he might be too good. But interesting race, going to be an intriguing one. Race 7 on the card Saturday night at 9:49 p.m. Let's move across to Sunday. It's Cup Day at Charlton. It's going to be a ripper. It's the Tom Hogan Charlton Cup Day punt-off as well. I'm going to be involved in that. That's always a lot of fun. The third of our sponsors is Logical Staffing Solutions. They provide labour hire and recruitment services to the transport, warehousing, automotive and manufacturing industries. The logical solution for your staffing needs. Diane and Jackie's mare beat the boys at Horsham. So can she do it again at Charlton? We're talking about the Community Bank Charlton and District Charlton Pacing Cup. Mick, you drive Radius for David Barbetti, and Herbie, you drive Major Meister for Andrew Voslick. So what, though? She was really deserving of a big win, and she got it at Horsham. And, I mean, she's clearly the class runner here, but how do you see the Cup on Sunday? I'll start with you, Mick.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. It's a sort of interesting front line too. You got Catalpa Rescue stepping up into the bigger league, and horses like Harry Who was a good winner last start, and Little Louis coming back from a Sydney campaign, and Radius was good at Bendigo. And then you can't ever overlook the Douglas pair in the Cups. They've had a great run, but yeah, like Jackie's not going to be as far off them as what she was at Horsham, and Barton saying that Charlton, you can't come as wide as what she did either.
Yeah, that is. I mean, Charlton to me is a real pegs front-running sort of track, and it's going to be hard for her. Obviously, it's all price related. I mean, you might take her on if she got too short, but you must be rapt to be on Radius. I just didn't think he could possibly win the way that race panned out at Bendigo. I mean, the two Douglas horses controlled things, and he popped off the pegs, I think, at the Bell, and he wound him, reeled him in. And his last 2 or 3 starts have been really good. He's been knocking on the door. I thought he might have been, really tapering away at this stage of his career. But, yeah, he was really good last start. You must be happy to be on him.
Yeah, I was driving him before I had to go to Sydney with Sergeant Lou, and Jackie got on him, and Dave just said he was jarring up a little bit, so I told him to change his feet, put a set of pads and that on him, and he reckons since his work at Bendigo, he's been brilliant again. He reckons the jar and the stiffness has come out of him, and he wouldn't be surprised if he knocked him off where he's vibed the other day. So Jackie had to make the choice, so I'll be quite happy to pip her out in the photo if that's the case.
I bet you. Can you find the front?
He's a sneaky little chance. He probably hasn't got that high gate speed that he used to have. He's probably got a bit more dower, but being in front's not the be all and end all.
Yeah. Herbie, Major Meister, a Group 1 winner going back a while ago, the Cranbourne Cup. He's not quite that horse anymore, but how do you see the race panning out from your perspective? Tricky gate 5, in a good, strong Charlton Pacing Cup.
Yeah, look, I only had a quick glance at the field, and as Mick said, the front row is a bit tricky. You got sort of horses coming up that have got enough speed to sort of put themselves into the race, but whether they've got the bottom in them to still be there late, we'll soon find out. But so what was the beneficiary of a very solid tempo at Horsham, and she was a long way back, but take that tempo out, and she probably doesn't win the race. So it's great to see, finally getting a decent race with her. She only wins one down in Melton every now and then. So for him to be able to win a nice race for her in the countries, it's great. The girls are doing a great job with her. But she's drawn badly again. And, as we said, Charlton's a hard track to come from behind on. So, look, I'd say with the gate speed off the front row, there's every chance that they'll sort of take it out of themselves and she'll be able to get the last crack at them. But if they don't go real hard, it really takes her out of the race, I think.
Yeah, going to be a great one. That is race 7 on the card on Sunday at 4:54 p.m. The fourth and final question on today's episode. He was a Country Cup star last season, but will Jess and Greg's trotter get one over his rivals on Sunday? We are talking about race 5 on the card, the Northwest Ag Services Charlton Trotters Cup, and we're talking about horse number 9, 1 overall. He's got the 30-metre handicap. He hasn't started since late last year, but I think he won 5 Country Cups last year. He was certainly the star, but this is a good little race on Sunday. James Herbertson, you're driving Mercenary for Calvin Barker. Mick, you're driving Wish Upon a Dream for Rebecca Morrissey. Might start with you, Herbie. Mercenary's been sensational. He won the Ararat Cup, then he went to Horsham and won that. Calvin Barker drove him to the races on both those occasions. I'm told Sam's taking him on Sunday, so can we rule a line through him or not?
Oh, well, just have to see how if Sam has a bit of a night out Saturday night, he might be a little bit more over the road on the way to Charlton. But look, he's been great, the horse. Ararat, we got a good run there, and we're able to come with one sort of late run halfway down the back straight, and the way he trotted around the turn was very impressive from my point of view. And then at Horsham was sort of a different kettle of fish. We had to come at the mile and just sort of creep up there, and 2 Lockie Cooks. I took my hat off to him for his drive. He made it very, very hard, and unfortunately for him, my bloke was just a bit too strong. But I think a lot of horses probably would have thrown the white flag out probably about the 450, 500 after having to chase into a headwind the way we did. But once they come back to him, he really swelled up and did it quite well in the end. He actually surprised me. So I can't fault the horse at all. His last 2 starts, he's trotted great and he's felt enormous. So, if he's feeling that good going into this week, he'll be right there. But, you got to respect 1 overall. As you said, last year he had a great year, and he just never seemed to get put back on the handicaps. He just seemed to always be close enough to them to still be able to win. So off 30, it's a little bit harder for him and first up. But, he's still a little bit quirky. He seems like he can get a little bit angry, and he can throw the toys out of the cot every now and then. But I'd say he's definitely the one to beat on his form last time in, and his pure ability. He can run a very strong last 1200 for a trotter. So Greg and Jess, their team's still airborne, has been for the last probably 18 months. So they'll have him spot on for the race. And I guess whatever he does this week, he'll improve on. But yeah, he's definitely the one to beat. Confident
with the All Black Day? You think you're in with a really good shot?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Look, I can't fault him, and if we get just a little bit of luck in running and get a nice trip there somewhere, he'll get along around that last turn pretty solid, and hopefully scoot up the straight. So, but yeah, he's doing a great job, and the boys, you've got to take your hat off to them. The job they've done with him to be able to take him from the horse that he was to the horse he is now in just a few starts. It's a big effort.
Yeah, for sure. James Herbertson driving a horse called Mercenary. That sort of seems fitting, doesn't it, Mick? He's a bit of a mercenary, isn't he?
Yeah.
But you've got the handicap advantage here on Sunday. You're on horse number 2, Wish Upon a Dream. Are you a sneaky blowout chance?
Yeah, we'll have a go this week and blow Mercenary out of the water, especially if Sam Barker's the handbrake in the armour. That'll help us. But no, my little girl's honest. She tries her absolute heart out each week, but she's rising in class against the likes of One Overall and Mercenary, and like if Keang Zena it did last week, if it goes around, it's in Mount Gambier the night before, so I'm not sure whether they're going to back it up or not. But yeah, if we get a clean getaway and get there first, we've got options.
Who do you think the horse to beat is? Who's the leading fancy? Is it One Overall from the 30, or is it a Mercenary off the 10, or a Hatchback or a Car Valley Hotspur?
I actually think Mercenary, because it's got fitness and he's just done it so classy these last 2. It's a big ask to come off the 30, and as we know, Greg and Jess's team are airborne, and he's a quality trotter, and you couldn't rule him out. But he has got the job to do in front of him, and I just like the way James's horse has done it. His last 2, he's looked like he was doing it comfortable on the line.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think they figured him out. I think before he won, I don't think you drove him, Herbie, but he led up at Melton and got run down by Ebony's Avenger, and I was really disappointed in him. I thought that was just he should have won that race, and then they obviously sorted him out. I think he had a few little niggles, and yeah, they've got him going. So the trip to Birdship last Sunday, while it was a fantastic day, I think I walked away with a new sponsor to Burning Questions. So I don't know if they've signed the dotted line yet, but Kevin from Sharp's Bakery, a good little shout out to Kev for first of all having me stay over the night, but he's jumped on board as a sponsor of the Burning Questions. And my idea would be to make it the Sharp's Bakery Best Bets. So when the ink hits the paper there, we'll do that. But I'll give you a free plug here anyway, Kev. That moves us on to the best bets. Herbie, have you got one? I know you've been tied up getting yourself sorted with medical certificates and stuff, but is there one you really like of yours over the weekend, or do you want to put the pressure on someone else?
No, I'll go with one of mine. I'll go with Little Layden. I'd say he's a good each-way bet. He's been really good lately. The draw's a little bit tricky for him in terms of trying to get the right trip with him. It's quite important. He's a good little sit sprinter, but you still have to be close enough when you're down in Melton. So we'll go him each way.
Yeah, is he? I was really all over him there for a while, and he just kept disappointing me. And then he started to put it together. Has there been a reason for that?
No, I haven't been driving him of late. He's been beating me a lot, I can tell you that much. It's he beat me with when I was driving Emma and Clayton's 3-year-old that went to the Derby.
Bay of Biscay.
Bay of Biscay. And then, he beat me again at Cranbourne. So, he's going really well, and, he's sharp, and he seems to race well at Melton too. He seems quite comfortable there. So, I think he's a good each-way shot.
Good stuff. $7 according to the form guide here. So that's a bit of a rough guide. Michael Bellman, this is where you make your name, mate. What are you doing for it? Is it the Bombers on Saturday against the Hawks, or have you got a horse for us to back?
Bombers first. They'll get up and beat the Hawks, much to Barry Delaney's disgust and David Miles and Robbie Auber and all the other Hawthorn jerks. But no, I've got one of my own in at Charlton. I'm not driving it, so it gives it a chance. Shannon's driving him, but he's drawn 7. Better's Blue Boy. He's going to be a bit fitter for the run and hit the line good last week at Maryborough, and hopefully strikes a winnable race.
Yeah, good stuff. So what race was that, Mick?
Race 2 at Charlton.
Race 2. Let's get that up here. Oh yeah, better Blue Boy as well for the Carlton supporters. Race 2 is
they kicked off last night.
Yeah, that's right. $4 on the form guide, projected price, I guess. Well, you guys have looked after a little bit of value anyway. I'm going to be really weak here. I'm going to go with race 8, number 8, Bark or Back. I'm not sure how we pronounce it, but I'm going to declare this as a moral on Saturday. I do not almost care what price this is. I'm thinking around $1.60, but this will just be winning. So it's a Metropolitan Moral, I'm going to call this. Race 8, number 8 on Saturday night. And if we get rolled, you might see me next week. Hey, boys, I really appreciate you jumping on. Great to have you on for the first show, Mick.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
Good on you. And thanks, Herbie. Look after yourself and go the Harley tonight at Shepparton.
There we go, mate. We just need a bit of luck and she'll be thereabouts.
Good stuff. Thanks, boys. Michael Bellman, James Herbertson, Tim O'Connor, myself, signing off for Burning Questions on March 15. We'll be back next Friday with another edition. We'll see you then.